Let's go visit Jay Leno, the one and only, in his garage. Check this out. Hey, everybody. My two favorite things are comedy and Israel. So here I am to talk Israel with a comedy legend, one of my all-time favorites, Jay Leno. How are you, Jay? Thank you for doing this.
Well, thank you. It's a privilege.
Yes. To be talking to me?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a Gentile, which is, you see, I hate that word. It sounds so goyish.
But it's very close to gentle, which most Gentiles are.
Right, there you go.
As opposed to Jews. We're like, hey, come on. No, that's Italians. So what is the difference between Italians and Jews before we talk Israel?
Well, there's not a lot of difference, actually. The emphasis on family is pretty much the same. The emphasis on food. That's kind of why I like it. When I was in Israel, I felt like I was at my cousin Toby's wedding. Everybody, hey, I'm this, walk down the street. I liked it. It's very friendly. You feel like you're at home. So I think there's, again, I don't find a lot of difference with people. Right. I don't find it that all different. We all want the same thing for our children and the family, so that's why I support Israel.
That's so nice. So how many trips to Israel have you made so far?
2 or 3. I enjoyed it. It was always fun.
One, you did the Genesis Award?
I did that a couple of times. Yeah, that was great.
They asked you back?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. See, the good comics get asked back.
I only do gigs once, and then that's it.
I knew that. Yeah.
So what happened at the Genesis Award? What happened backstage? There was an incident.
Well, no, it wasn't an incident. It was more like just a language. It's very funny. It's everybody speaks English. I don't speak any Hebrew, so it's to me. But I was doing the show with the stage manager, and the Genesis Awards the opening was 7 minutes. Dun, dun, in the beginning, Israel, and dun, 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 dun. So the guy says to me, stage manager, Jay Leno, you ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready to go. Now, when I hear the music, should I walk out? What? Should I walk out? No, you don't walk out. You stay right there. You stay. Oh, okay. And the music stops. And I hear, Jay Leno, where are you? I said, should I walk out? No, you stay. Again, everybody. It's 7 minutes. Dun, dun, in the beginning. Dun, 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 a huge, just a huge thing.
You're waiting to MC and hit the stage and do your joke.
Oh, okay. And I keep going, should I walk out? No, don't walk out. Then the music stops. Royal, what are you doing? What? He comes, what are you doing? Should I walk out? No, you don't walk out. Well, should I stay here? He goes, no, you walk in. What? You walk in. No, I walk out on stage. No, you walk into the stage. All right, fine. Well, that was just the beginning. Right. But other than that, it was fine.
So you, and then there's, now there's great restaurants there, and between Tel Aviv, which is like high tech, and then you have, Jerusalem, which is all the old city. But the thing that's different about Israel now versus when you were there last is everything now is like top chefs and everything.
Well, that's all secondary. I mean, to me, I tell you something. I'm Italian. My dad was Italian. I'm half Scottish, half Italian. And when I was a kid and we would go out to dinner, I would always have to put on a suit and tie. I mean, other kids in the restaurant with obscenity-laden T-shirts and things. And I always say to my pop, Dad, why do I have to wear a tie? Because we're Italian. Because back when I was growing up, Italians, you had shows like The Untouchables and so. And there was always these stereotypes of Italians. My dad said, you always want to be proud of who you are. And that's why I like Jews, because they're proud of who they are. I mean, here they are, this little country surrounded by people that literally hate them. And yet,
for no good reason, by the way.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm not talking. I just mean for whatever reason that people hate people for any number of reasons. But the fact that people are proud of who they are and they stick together, and that's what I like about it. I like seeing people who are proud of who they are, whether they're African American, whether they're Jewish, whatever. Because if you don't have pride in yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. So to me, I like that sort of Jewish pride. I like, I had a rabbi who wrote on my show, my friend Marvin.
Marvin Silberman's.
Yeah. Every time a Jew was arrested, I would go, Marvin, do you see this Jew? He was not really a Jew. He wasn't.
He was adopted.
He was adopted. He always had a reason why the Jewish guy was not really, and it always used to make me, it just used to make me laugh, Plus Marvin would make up Jewish holiday. I can't come in tomorrow. It's Hanukkah. It's what? It's Hanukkah. What's Hanukkah? It's the day that something or other happened. Oh, okay. I was convinced of that because I never saw a religion with so many holidays. Yeah. I mean, it's just hilarious.
He didn't take a sick day. He took a Jew day.
That's right.
What is your favorite Jewish holiday, by the way?
Oh, I just like the whole. I like the whole thing.
They do such great work fighting for Israel against BDS, against anti-Semitism. What would you say is one of the main reasons that you support Israel? Because you've always been outspoken and incredible when it comes to Israel. What's the main reason you support it and you love it?
Well, I don't like to see people get picked on. I think when you're in the schoolyard, the bully aspect things is fairly obvious. I remember there was a Hasidic kid in our school, and and he always get picked on, usually. And I went over and made friends with him, and he was the same as anybody else. I mean, when you're a kid, you have to learn that people are all the same as anybody else. I think it's just inherent. You either believe in basic human decency,
right,
or you don't. I mean, it's really quite simple. And to me, I like Jewish religion because it makes sense. There's a reason for the things, the reason you separate the dishes and the reason you don't mix this and that. Oh, okay, it explained in a scientific way, not necessarily, and I always just like that. Plus, I like the emphasis on education and the emphasis on family. I mean, it's
and food, again, more than anything. It's really about food.
The food is not quite as good as the Italian. When I go
not even a competition.
When I go to an Italian deli, there's meatballs, lasagna, there's tomatoes. I walk into a Jewish deli, and there's a fish head looking at me. Just, I go.
So you don't like herring?
No, not a herring guy.
You don't want a herring. No gefilte for Jay Leno. You heard it here first.
But I had a friend of mine as a rabbi, and he told me he needed a joke for Rosh Hashanah. So I'll give you, see if you like this joke. Orthodox Jewish family, obviously very religious. He sends his kids to Hebrew school, and his son's doing good, except he's flunking math. And the father's beside himself. You need math for life. You need math for business. How can you go through without math? My son's getting an F in math. I don't know what to do. His friend said, look, the Catholic school down the street, they have an excellent math program. He goes, I can't send my kid to a Catholic school. He goes, no, you don't send him to. He said, for 1 hour a day, you send him to Catholic school for math class, and then he comes back to Hebrew school. He says, I know the Monsignor. I'll speak to him. He goes, you'll do that for me? He speaks to Monsignor. He said, yes, we'd love to have the Jewish point. They're fine. Against his better judgment, father sends his kid off to Catholic school. First day gets an A. Gets an A for the term, gets an A for the semester. Father can't believe it. He says, son, what is it about the Catholic math program? He goes, Pop, when I walked in that classroom and I saw that guy nailed to the plus sign, I knew these people didn't screw around.
Nailed to the plus sign. We talked about how much you love the Jewish state of Israel, the Jewish people. Who's your favorite Jewish comedian?
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to think. Oh.
There are a few of us.
Elon Musk is not a comedian.
No, he's the Tesla guy.
Oh, the Tesla.
Who is it? It's Seinfeld, your car friend Jerry?
Seinfeld.
It's your friend Jerry?
Good, yeah.
Well, I am. I'm the Jewish Jerry Seinfeld, they say.
Right. That's right, yeah.
Jay, I can't thank you enough for your support for Israel, for allowing us to come to the garage and talk.
It's just common sense. It's not it doesn't take a great deal of effort to, it doesn't take a great deal of effort to be kind to people and to be nice to people. And Jewish people have always been very nice to me. I'll tell you a story. When I was a young comedian starting out, I took any job again. I had a horrible agent named Abe Totis, this guy. He says, I got your job in the Catskill Mountains. It only pays $50, but it's a good start for you. So I drive 7.5 hours up to the Catskill Mountains, and I pull in, and it's a Hasidic resort.
A bungalow colony.
Right. And they have a sign that says, tonight, Jewish storyteller Jay Leno. And I go, oh, man.
Not comedian, Jewish storyteller.
That's what it says.
So they were wrong on 2 counts.
That's what the agent told him.
Right.
So the guys use me. I go out on stage, and it's obviously all Hasidic and guys sit in the front. And I'm doing
men and women separate.
And I'm doing my little act, and not really getting much. And finally, this old guy goes, stop. I take it you're not Jewish. I said, no, sir, I'm sorry. The agent that kind of sold you a bill of goods. I don't want to be paid. This is a terrible misunderstanding. He goes, stop. He's telling me about you. You have a family? What's your family like? I said, well, my mother's a housewife. My dad's an insurance salesman. My brother went to Yale. My brother's a top 10 student. He did this. My brother's doing that. He's a lawyer. He's going to be this. My parents think I'm crazy to be in the show business. My dad wants me to quit. My mother's the guy goes, stop. You're Jewish enough. You get paid. And I thought, oh, and I like that, you know,
You're Jewish enough.
so you get paid. So I like the fact that I'm just
amazing.
Jewish enough.
And everything that you said, it rings so true, like about Israel being the underdog. And it's always been the David and Goliath story, where Israel's the David.
You know, it's interesting to me that they have the worst PR company.
The worst. We will admit that.
I don't understand why that is. You know, I think it's the fact that Jewish technology and everything is so superior that they somehow are seen as the overlord or the ruling the area.
It's just a good economy, a strong military. Suddenly you're the Goliath, when really you're this tiny little dot on this map.
That's what it is. And like they always say, you know, Israel only has to lose once. You know, the other people can lose.
Right.
You can have 6-day wars at this side
Right.
and that side. You can have them all day long.
We cannot lose.
You only have to
Right.
lose once. And it's a democracy. And it's an old democracy.
Yeah.
And
It's all about freedom, democracy. It's a pluralistic, open, free society for all. And yeah, we just want peace. We just want harmony, and hopefully.
you know, when you're kind to people,
Yeah.
people are kind to you. And Jewish people have always been very nice to me. I was a Shabbos goy for the Henry family next door.
Turn on the lights.
Yeah, I never knew why my dad would say, "Gotta, Mrs. Henry, you're not allowed to." So I'd have to go turn the lights on and off, and I never understood why. But they always gave me a cookie or something, you know, and it was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I didn't know why I was doing that, but it was just interesting. You know, that's what I liked about growing up in New York, because of the Polish people down there, and it wasn't until I came to California I met a grandmother who spoke English. Because when you grow up in New York, hey, grandmother, grandparents just made noise. They didn't actually talk. They just, yes, grandma. And then I get to grandma. Someone said, "Oh, Jay, this is my grandmother." "How are you, Jay?" What the hell kind of grandmother is it? I mean, the fact that he spoke English, it stunned me.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's Jay Leno, TV icon and Shabbos goy. That's right. You know, who would have thought? On behalf of everyone at Stand With Us, I thank you for doing this. Thank you for supporting Israel, and thanks for everything you do.
Next year, Jerusalem.
Amen.